Okay, we're going to try and program bench view to automate the charging and discharging cycle. So we're going to show more blocks and pick a counter loop. So we want to run, say, 4 cycles of charge discharge. And in this loop we want to have a charge cycle, so we're going to charge it up until it reaches a certain voltage, and we're going to grab this voltage measurement from channel 2, and we're going to set the voltage to be when it gets greater than 4.1 volts. Now, of course, we need to tell it what voltage we're going to try and get to, so we're going to use the voltage setting here, and we're going to set the voltage that it's charging up to be 4.2. So after it exceeded 4.1 volts, we want to turn it off so that it stops charging. So we're going to set that voltage to 0. Then we're going to put a little delay before we discharge. So we're going to put drag a little delay block in here and set it to 0.15 seconds just so we can see what's going on. So that's a charging cycle. Then we want to have a discharge cycle. So we're going to have another repeat until type of loop in here. And it's going to be discharging until the voltage measurement. And we're going to make this until the voltage measurement goes below, say, 0.2 volts. We do need to initialize the voltage to get a constant current. So we're going to use this voltage setting for power supply number 3. And we're going to set that to 60 millivolts, and that's all we need across that resistor to give us a constant current. And when we're done, we want to set that to 0 to turn it off. And let's put a little delay in there as well, say 0.4 seconds. Alright, so to start up this program, we need to turn everything on. We have to turn on all 3 power supplies. So we're going to put them up here, set on, set this power supply on, and the third one on. We probably should initialize the voltages as well. So let's set this voltage to be 0. It maybe should be done before turning the channel on, but it doesn't really matter to this circuit, and it keeps things fairly clean. And the third power supply goes to 5 volts, which is a power supply that's just supplying power to an emitter follower transistor that's keeping the second power supply voltage up after it turns off, so that we can actually use that voltage to monitor the voltage of the capacitor. So it's just tracking the capacitor voltage using an emitter follower. But normally when that power supply turns off, it goes to 0 volts. But we want to use it in our program to tell us when to stop discharging. So we want it to track the capacitor voltage down. So now that we have these things set up and they're going to turn on, we can look at the program and try and run it. So you can see it ramping up. It takes 2.5 seconds, and then it ramps down. Or another 2.5 seconds, ramping back up. That's the second cycle. And there's the third cycle. And the fourth cycle. At which point the program ends. So, very powerful capability to do a completely automated program like this with very quick programming. I'm really impressed with how you can automate functionality with this power supply. It's got lots of capability, and it's straightforward to make complex programs.